Hey everybody, this is Robert from Crit Games. I got some cool stuff to show you today. These just showed up in the mail. We got the monster cards, so the challenge levels 0 through 5, and then 6 through 16. And then also this magic item deck. So these are new cards that just came out. I have pictures of all the different monsters. On the reverse side, you have the stats ready to go. So if you have an encounter or something ready, what you can do is you can go through these decks, pick out the monsters that your players are fighting, set them off into the side. So maybe they're fighting a basilisk, and then you have that, and then you can just go through. Here's the actions. And what's really great about this is you can, to put together an encounter, you can just thumb through the decks rather than trying to do it through the monster manual. Prep it, have it be there off on the side. And it just makes it really easy to put your encounter together. So again, this is the Monster Cards Challenge 0 through 5. And then there's two different sizes that came with this. So they had these smaller cards. And then for some of the larger monsters, they have these larger, sideways index card style. So a spectator, for example, there's a little bit more going on for it, right? There's a lot more actions and reactions, and it's more of a, maybe you can use it like a boss monster, that type of thing. Makes it really cool to put together rating for your heroes. This is what this is referring to. You can find some stats for that online. This is a little bit smaller deck, but the idea is you have some more inveterate heroes that are coming together. So here's the Chimera, same idea where you have the stats on the back. And you can go through, and these are all the higher rating challenge monsters. Of course, all your dragons are in here. And if you have, and these all match the, the standard, D&D monster list. So you can match it with your monster manual, have these ready to go to complement it, and they're on the table. So I'll show you these guys real quick. So just a really cool way to put your game together and make it a little more interesting with the visual there. And especially if you don't have figures ready to go, you can just drop this on the table and say, hey, this is what you see. And what's really cool to do is you can put kind of different themes together, right? So maybe I can pull a few cards out that match the encounter, set them off on the side. It's all there ready to go. The other thing that we tried was putting these cards together as part of the turn order, and actually worked okay. Basically using the monsters. And the larger ones like this, you can actually drop down, if they get hurt, I'll just, I have tokens that I use to do damage. I'll just drop it right on the card and it's ready to go. There's your classic purple worm right there. This other deck, I want to show you this as well. So this is the magical item cards. As a DM, you're sitting at the table. There's that moment where your players are going over and they're finding the loot and they're anticipating, oh, what did we find? What is this cool new loot gonna have and exposed? And you're the DM and you're thinking, you know what? I haven't really thought about what I'm gonna give you guys. This is where something like this comes in handy. It just has magical item cards that you can give to your players. You can either pick a few out beforehand, give you some ideas what you want to do, or you can just kind of randomize it, right? So for example, in this deck, there's a necklace of fireballs. Just make it a cool way to give somebody a fireball spell, make it part of their equipment that they have. There's different, and each one of these is kind of a magical item, right? So you want to be a little bit judicious handing these out. And some of these are just kind of cool ideas that are just part of the D&D lore, right? So it's part of the canon. They just put it together, give it a picture. What's really fun to do is you have this ready to go for your players. You literally hand in the card, and then they can have it there at the table, and they can flip it around the back to reference it, right? So it's got description describing what this thing is and what it does. It just makes it really easy to do your treasures in the game. You also have in this deck, different types of armor, different amulets, just things that kind of make the game, right? So if you haven't checked these out, definitely check them out. They're pretty cool. Use them for your next game, and make it really fun to play.